I'm Twyla.
And I'm Natalie.
And this is Twyla and Natalie.
We're going to have a blast chatting with you all about the joys and the pitfalls of being a grown woman.
Indeed. I just realized I didn't say hello.
Oh, well, you say hello now.
Okay. Covered. Every week we ask a question. It's usually something we want to know about or something that's going on in our daily lives. And we try to talk about it here and come to some sort of understanding for ourselves and maybe a universal understanding that will help other people too. I feel like I don't know if this question is going to be helpful to other people.
I think it's going to be incredibly helpful.
We're going to start some crap
enlightening.
this week. We might start some stuff. Okay, so this week's question is pretty simple. Do you have a hall pass?
Now, I think first we need to define hall pass for anyone who does not know, and that is when you give your partner permission and your partner gives you permission to sleep with someone given the opportunity.
Right. Now, it references a movie. I think that movie came out maybe 5-6 years ago. It was an Owen Wilson movie.
Yeah, and it was called Hall Pass.
Yeah, it was called Hall Pass, where they had like permission. I think they had like 5 people on the list, and if any of those people became available, they were supposed to give the other spouse permission to go for it.
Yeah, it's like his wife went out of town and he had like 3 or 4 days to do whatever he wanted.
Right.
So if he wanted to sleep with somebody else, he could.
Right. And then even more so, I think if you're a person who ever watched the TV series Friends, they did an entire episode where
they did.
Ross and Rachel were talking about hall passes.
Yeah.
And she was joking and she basically said, okay, well, you can have a hall pass. And so they gave each other 5 people on the list. And hers was like super like, we're just joking and talking about it. And he came back like laminated, keeping his wallet. And he was just like, and they were like famous people, but he had like a whole like, theory on like what the likelihood is. And that's why he put people on the list. And
sure.
So it was like a whole comic episode of like ridiculousness, like how far people can take the concept. So that being said, I guess the first part of that question is, do you actually have one in real life?
Well, Tony and I have talked about this multiple times, but more, you joke about it, but I'm like, hey, I'm serious. If I get a shot, and it's no one, and they're all celebrities. And it came up the other day because we were watching a special about Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. And
right.
I never thought Tim McGraw was particularly attractive. And I'm watching this thing, though, and I'm watching him and their interaction. I'm like, I think I'm going to have to add Tim McGraw to my hall pass list.
See, but he's not attractive because he's attractive. He's attractive because of how attracted he is to his wife.
Yes.
Like he's into her. Like I saw them about the same time that special came out.
Years.
Yeah, I saw them on the Today Show and they were singing in the plaza. And it was just adorable that she was singing to the crowd and he was singing to her. The entire time, like he barely noticed the crowd was there. I was like, okay, you're a celebrity. Like, it's like, you're a singer. You don't turn sideways to the audience. You're supposed to face the audience. And she was kind of even like giving him the eyes, like the crowd's out there. And he was really looking at her like, baby, it's just you.
Yeah.
And I think that's adorable.
It totally is. And that's why I thought, what, I'm going to add him to my mental list. And I told Tony, I'm like, well, you can sleep with Faith Hill. He goes, I don't want to sleep with Faith Hill.
He's like, really? He's like, don't add me to the list of things I don't want to be added to.
Because in my mind, it would be something we do together. It'd be like this foursome of Faith Hill, me,
That's
Tim
not
McGraw.
A hall pass. That's like swinging.
Well, all my hall pass people, I guess, but involve not multiple other people because that's how lame I am. I'm like, at the end of the day,
you're only looking for couples.
Go through with
you're
it.
Like you're like looking for compatibles. They'd make fun. It'd be fun to have waffles with them in the morning.
Yeah, it'd be great. No, my hall pass is only celebrities, and it's usually involving a threesome. Because I may be honest, I don't really care to sleep with anybody else, but if I'm gonna, Tony needs to be involved, and let's be real, he's not gonna allow another man. So my hall pass is like,
why not?
Oh my gosh, what man would allow another man? Straight man. You never hear of that happening.
That's
Twyla.
true. I know.
You hear of every threesome.
I'm progressive, but yeah.
Yeah, every threesome is 2 women, 1 guy. And
then, wait, hold on. You say like every threesome, like you just know a bunch of people that have been to that, like you got reference points. I mean, I'm talking hypothetical.
I watch a lot of television and on TV.
You're like on HBO.
It is. And where you talk to a man who'd be like, "Oh yeah, you can, bring Tim McGraw into the bedroom."
Yeah, that's
honey.
true. No guy. Yeah, no
that's
straight.
Not happening.
No traditional cisgendered straight guy is going to be like, yeah, him.
No.
Yeah.
So it's really
Fair
been
point.
more like my hall pass is like, okay, Sofia Vergara.
Oh,
I would have a threesome with her.
Okay, so you're okay. So you're funny because like you literally are thinking about this and adding people in terms of what the real likelihood is that you can engage your partner in this if if it
Well,
happens.
you got to be somewhat realistic about it.
See, my thought of hall pass is completely the opposite. My thing is, if you were dumb enough to do this, because obviously my point of view is we don't have one, but if you were dumb enough to do it, it has to be like a don't ask, don't tell. Like, well, there could be people on my list, and you just listen. I will never tell you. You'll never tell me, and you could like leave it in. You could leave it in like your will after you're dead.
Yeah,
like you could be like, I leave you the house, I leave you the cars. I had a lost weekend with Halle Berry. Please scatter my ashes in Hawaii. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Traditionally, I think that is what it's meant for, but realistically, I don't think I could do it. Even if Tony was like, yeah, absolutely, you go be alone with Tim McGraw. I could not do it. I couldn't do it. He would need to be there in some capacity, and that's not likely to happen. So that's why predominantly my hall pass is filled with women I would be willing to have a threesome with. Ashley Graham, that's another one.
That's funny that your whole pass is all filled with women.
Because he would never, like, I think that's kind of hilarious. Trust me, I tried, because when I brought up Sofia Vergara, I'm like, how about her? He's like, yeah, okay. I said, okay, how about her husband?
Look at you. Always trying to add incentive.
I'm like, yeah, but
you're still thinking brunch scenarios. You're just like, we'll play cards sometime. Like that's not how that works.
Yeah, so we tease and joke about it. There's no real life people, but
listen, I feel like that's the first rule. There can't be real life people.
Yeah, it can't be like, oh, you can't right off the bat be like, you know what,
like
my neighbor,
like your friend Trish. Yeah. The guy you play basketball with. No, it cannot be real life people. That is you plotting for your next spouse. That is not a hall pass.
No, that's very different. But because I feel strongly about, monogamy, it would even, like I said, if he's there, then it's not cheating if he's there and aware of it and involved. That's why I thought, okay, I'll,
see,
more than likely would have to be another one.
No. See, okay, I mean, I guess I could go, if I go all the way back to the beginning, the answer to the question is no, because I'm green with jealousy all the time.
Like, yeah, you do got to think about it like that too. And when I flip the tables, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, there's no like. I know some people. I know some women that like find it adorable when like their husband is flirting with people, or when other women are interested in their husband because they're like, because that's mine. And in my head, when I see that happen, the first thing I think is, okay, take the earrings off.
I'm gonna cut you.
If I charge at her from a 30-degree angle, I can drop her in 20 seconds. Like that's I'm always thinking like, piss on my territory, get away from my person. And he's the same way. Like we're exactly, that's why we work, because we're the same animal. And I have joked for years that if you're dumb enough to cheat, like we have a strangely open door policy on the idea that if you find somebody better to hang out with, let me know and I will let you go.
Sure. Yeah, which is a great policy to have. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I'd rather you be happy someplace else with somebody else, and so that we could at least like preserve our friendship.
Let's be upfront about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't want it to be like rot. I'm not going to I'm not going to hold onto your ankles and be like, please stay with me and just see ya. It's fine. That's fine. But if you're stupid enough to embarrass me by cheating on me, and then I have to like find out by like some other person, like if I ever have the concern like cadre of girlfriends show up on my doorstep with like wine or liquor and like sad faces, I'm burning everything you own to the ground.
That's right.
And
there will be a fire.
Right. That's our understanding, is that I get to burn things. I mean, mind you, it's a mutual understanding. He gets to burn my things too. But that's how we work. So this can't even really be like a real philosophical conversation for us, because the second one of us goes, oh, what if we had a hall pass? The other one's gonna go, excuse you, what do you need a hall pass? Who is this? What are we doing?
Well, I think though there's some fun in talking. That's why you have to keep it to celebrities, because it's kind of.
No, see, that doesn't work in my world.
No, so let's say realistically, like who's a celebrity you think your husband is really attracted to?
I know who my husband's really attracted to, but I can't say on the air, because if somebody listens and they tell him, he'll kill me. So I know there is a person specifically that trips his trigger, and whenever we see her in a movie, it's like, oh.
Okay, so let's say it's Sofia Vergara.
We'll hypothetically say it's Sofia.
Let's see it's her.
Okay.
And he truly has the opportunity, and you can be there too if you want to participate or not.
I'd have to be.
Yeah, but I'm saying you would honestly, let's say something happened and the planets aligned, and Sofia Vergara wanted to have sex with your husband, and if you wanted to participate, either viewing or physically participate, it's fine. It's not a secret. It's all out in the open. The green light, you would really deprive him of that.
Okay, here's the thing. I would like to say I'm progressive enough to go, it's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I will let you have this. Like it's like the Super Bowl. I would really love to say that I'm the person who could do that. And I would even say it's not only as a Super Bowl, I'm going to let it be the Super Bowl and the World Series because I'll be in it too. Like I would totally wish I could do that. And we would probably get to a certain point in the endeavor in which I would go crazy grenade monster, snatch her up by her hair, and then it'd be done. Like we would probably get really far, and it'd be like remember that time we saw Sofia Vergara naked before I snatched her by the hair? Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Before
You'd be having that conversation through a plate glass window.
Yeah, I'd be real apologetic about the whole thing. I'd be like, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, Modern Family fan.
Kind of messed that up for you. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I just know me well enough to know that.
Now I know for a fact that you lust after The Rock like it's
I do,
nobody's
and
business.
And nobody, and it's not a secret. Listen, I lust after a lot of people. I don't. I always say it's not you're married, not dead. And the thing is, my husband and I both have an understanding. We know we're in it together. We know we're committed. We know we're not out here dogging it around. So, but I'm just like, my husband is much more reserved about things. He's not just going to openly say stuff. I openly say stuff all the time.
So let's say you had the opportunity to have sex with The Rock.
Yeah.
Like it was a one-time thing.
Yeah.
He was super into you. He's like, yeah, I want to do this if it's okay with your husband. And do you think your husband would give you the green light on that?
No, but I would also would have been like, okay, baby, listen, we had a good run.
Yeah.
The Rock says he's over here for 48 hours. I know it feels really foolish to throw away everything for 48 hours, but Mama's doing it, so you have a good time. I'd be like, I really like you, like me and you friends are besties forever. I got you. Don't worry. You can even have the van. But I'm going, and listen, and you're laughing, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, I know. I wouldn't put that past you.
No. And The Rock's training facility is like an hour outside of my hometown. Like somebody found it and told me about it.
Wow.
And I was like she's I probably had a flash in my head of she'll throw it all away. Yes, she will. That's not a good idea. So, I mean, and in my collective world, what my husband does for a living and what I do for a living and people I'm connected to.
Yeah.
Actually weirdly puts us in a sphere where we're connected to people that are connected to people. So it's not
absolutely
it's not
ridiculous.
It's not impossible to cross paths with people. My husband has people that he's done business with that are absolutely when he tells me years later, I'm like, what? Yeah. I could have what? I don't know. And then for years in his work, he was affiliated with professional with athletic teams and athletic, professional athletes. And everybody knows I'm a baseball girl, so I know all the baseball players. And my husband had access to all the baseball players. And so, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I had to make sure to have a little come to Jesus talk when we go to work things where I'm like, okay, you need to keep your stuff together.
Close your mouth.
Close your mouth. Close your legs. Be appropriate. Don't be flirting with these people. Don't be out here. Don't be out here looking scandalous. You're supposed to be representing your husband out here. And not that I'm not appropriate at all times because I really am, but I know what I like, and I'm usually I'm usually pretty unapologetic about the things that I like. If we were just joking a week ago about how I've probably had a thing for what I consider dirty white boys since I was 15. So that extends all the way.
Dirty white boys, dirty as in sexually dirty or physically dirty?
Both.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Listen, my mom had one caveat growing up. My mother told us one thing growing up. Just about the door was open for everybody but white boys. It was no white boys. And that made them the holy grail.
But you're talking about dirty white boys. So you're talking Daryl on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of dirty in both ways.
Yep. And that would have been my catnip. And I did a good handful of I had a handful of dirty white boy experiences before I settled down with my husband. But yeah, I mean that was my thing. And I knew the thing is, and I'm even worse because most people have a type. I don't have a type. I just have it trips my trigger and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So that would make it even impossible for me to have a list. And my list would be interchangeable. Once every 6 months I'd be like, okay, sir, point of order, here's the new list.
Yeah, no, that's how it is. That's kind of the whole idea. That's why, like I said, Tim McGraw was not on my list before.
Right. But you have a certain level of consistency. You know what your general type is. You have a type.
I like dark. I like dark hair.
Right. See, I don't have a type. I just have a
fog of mirror.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit better than that now. At least I'm sure there's a point in time where it really was just fog of mirror and we're good. But yeah, and I don't remember, I think we had the discussion a few podcasts back about like the age swing.
Oh yeah.
And I told you I don't like the age swing, doesn't bother me at all. It can go like
you're
up or down
as
20.
long as it's legal, you're okay with it.
Yeah, it's up and down or 20. I'm good. So I know that's who I joke, and I will stop eventually joking about being a dude in general. But I think like that. So this can't even be a possibility for me. Because if it was a possibility, because it was a possibility, I know me and I know how I work. I would probably engineer my life to make it happen so that I could go, but you said.
But you said.
Yeah, it's like, I have, like, listen, I'm in Virginia, the Rock's in Virginia.
I think too, don't you think too, though, when you are able, because I look at past relationships of mine, this is not a conversation I would have had with any of them.
Right.
About, having a hall pass list or anything like that. And I think it's a good sign of a healthy relationship when you can have a conversation like that, even if it's jokingly. Because when push comes to shove, I don't think I could do it, even if it's with a celebrity.
See, I think that's why we don't joke about it, because I think my husband knows. I think my husband knows deep
you would
down.
do it.
If it was like somebody that was like on my forever list, he'd be like, yeah, it's not like she didn't warn me. She warned me.
But it's fun, and there's a security in knowing. And I thought about this when we were talking about it the other night. For myself, I thought it's so nice. It's such a great feeling to know I want to sleep with this person that I'm with, and I want to be with this person that I'm with. And I can joke about Tim McGraw or Sofia Vergara and things like that, but that's not something that is needed.
Right.
It's just a hypothetical, like, oh, what if this happened?
Do you think that on some level it's helpful to have something like that? Like it helps your partner understand like preferences, or understand like that there are certain things you might be into that that they didn't realize you were into? Yeah,
I do. I think it does. And that's why I like to, like I'll say, oh, I think, this actress is really attractive. What do you think? And Tony is a smart man, so he's very smart in the way he answers these questions. I'm also not trying to set him up. I really want to know.
See, now,
and he'll say,
you know what? That's exactly what would happen if I was doing it. I'd be setting you up. It's a scam.
But your dynamic with your husband, though, is different that way. So
yeah,
I could see how he would not trust you, even if you were not trying to set him up.
Yeah, if I'm like, like if we're watching something and I'll see, like there'll be a girl in there and I'm noticing that he's like very into it, I'll be like, so she's cute. That's a setup. Listen, Daddy, don't answer that question. And after this long, he knows, don't answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think when I was younger, I would use that as a setup to like, I would compare, it'd be like the apples and oranges comparison. Like, is she hot? And if he said yes,
and she's the polar opposite of you,
right? But I'll be honest, if he said yes or yeah or whatever, in my head, my mission would be like, well, then I need to make you forget about her entirely, which usually means we wouldn't finish the movie because I would jump him on the couch. So it was kind of like a win-win scenario.
See, so it worked. It works out,
but that's because I was vain. Like it was like I just wanted to be the best.
You need to get on your territory.
Yeah,
but that's a way. I think that's kind of a fun, healthy way to spice things up. No one's stepping over a line.
No.
That person is not standing there in front of you. You're watching TV. But if it kind of gets you going, and I could see totally in your nature.
I used to think of that as more of like the egomaniac response. like the goal is to not finish the movie, and somehow in my twisted imagination, the person on screen is like, you could have at least finished watching the movie. I'm like, no, we couldn't, girl, because he needed to know I'm the best. You can go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ridiculous. I'll admit that I can be, at least in my younger years, I can be very ridiculous. I'm not going to say I'm much better now. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. But I think I'm at least more calm about it now. Like I can have a healthy appreciation that he has an appreciation for other people.
Sure.
Like it doesn't bother me that there are other people that he thinks of as attractive.
Sure.
Now, mind you, like I said, that still falls squarely under the fantasy realm because real life.
Yeah.
In real life.
Don't be talking about how good your neighbor looks.
No, stop talking to that lady at the sporting event. You've been talking to her too long. She got to go. And she might not do it. Like she hasn't done anything. She's not even on the radar. Like mind you, that I said this goes both ways, and that's why I enjoy it because I know we're the same animal.
Yeah.
We were at like a basketball thing forever ago for one of my kids, and one of the dads that was coaching the other team I knew from like volunteer stuff.
Sure.
But my husband doesn't do the same volunteer stuff I do. He does the sports. I do like all of the like political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy walks over and he's just like, Like, oh, you're here to start trouble here too, right? And mind you, this man is like a good 25 years older than us. He's like an older dad.
Sure.
You know, like totally looks like Santa Claus, and I'm not even exaggerating. He looks like Santa Claus. Sweetest guy. Funny guy, but he looks like Santa Claus. He's got no shot. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And I'm like not even giving off the rhythm of being interested.
Yeah.
So we're just talking. I introduce him to my husband. We talk a little. He goes away. And my husband very calmly, like it was like quiet for 3 beats. And he goes, so how do you know him? And I'm like, and it caught me so by surprise. I was like, are you serious right now? And he was like, I'm just wondering. And I was, and mind you, because I'm an egomaniac, I thought it was adorable that he was like, up in arms over like Santa Claus possibly hitting on me.
Defending his woman.
Right. And I was like, no, he wasn't even defending his woman. He was totally pissing on territory.
Yeah, pissing on territory.
And it was like, you're so funny. Like, that's Santa Claus. I know I'm ridiculous, but I'm not that ridiculous. Like, come on.
But you appreciated and liked the fact that he was peeing on his territory.
Yeah, because I'm an egomaniac.
You know, no, I don't think that's an egomaniac thing. I think it's a nice, you know, it's a good, healthy reaction, and it's kind of like, oh, see, you love me.
Yeah, see, and that's I think that's what makes it worse, because then I'm that girl too, because I'd be like, I probably teased him about it for a week. You know, like for an entire week. I was like, I said, do you not want me to go to basketball? I mean, I don't want to be too tempting. Like, I don't want to create problems. I want you to be able to focus on coaching.
That's right.
And then he's like, can you go sit down somewhere? Like,
I'm gonna wear my winter coat the whole time,
right?
So I don't.
Yeah, like I don't want to mess it up for you. See, and
sunglasses so men are not mesmerized by my eyes.
See, now mind you, he's the exact opposite. He doesn't notice if somebody's like hitting on him. He doesn't notice if somebody's interested in him. Mind you, I notice. And I'm like, and then I never go directly to him and like, that lady was talking to you for too long. Like I am ridiculously covert. Like
you're outside keying her car.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it, but at the very least, I'm doing like I'm doing the, like, let me come up and talk to you and try to intimidate the crap out of you.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'll be standing there and I'll like, well, hello. And then, and I'll start talking to them, and it will immediately shift to me just being like a total jerk. You know, like on some really sarcastic, really whatever, and where they can't put it together. And then I'll just give them like I told you, sometimes I blank stare people until they think something bad's going to happen. They just leave. So I blank stare a lot of people so that they go away. And I'm like, just like in my head, I'm like, I just need to make it clear that this is protected land. Like, you need to, this is sovereign territory.
That's right. You're the woman paying attention here.
Right. And the thing is, girls get girl things, you know, even better than guys get guy things.
Yeah.
So and I'll even say this, I can be so like over focused about this that if a lot of times it's like parent things. So like my other girlfriends are there.
Oh.
Right. And the thing is, over time I've settled down quite a bit. But I'm blessed to have like friends who love me so much that if they see it and I don't see it, then they handle it. And then they have to tell me later, okay, well, like I did a thing. I'm like, what thing did you do? And then they'll tell me, like, no, girl, that's why we're friends. You looked out for me.
That's
I got,
right.
I got
did
your
the
back.
Right thing.
I got your back. You got my back. Like that's much appreciated. So yeah, so this whole, like, even the idea of having a list is kind of funny, because in order to have a list, I would have to be like calm enough not to freak out. And like I would see his list and be like, I'm never watching these women's movies again. Like in the back of my head, I'd be like, she's plotting.
Is he thinking about her now?
Like her movie would be on HBO. I'm like, she's plotting to take my husband.
She knows he has HBO.
I have to cancel HBO. Like, I can be really irrational about it.
Well, then I think it's safe to say that having a hall pass list, even one that is hypothetical and based on celebrities, is not good for your household.
No, because we're ridiculous. Yeah. And mind you, I said I'm a total hypocrite, because I literally sent out something on Saturday on social media that was like, I'm decorating for the holidays, and it was a magazine cover with The Rock on it and a Santa costume. And I was like, this is very festive. And even my son was like, really? And I was like, but it's cute. And he was like, no, can you put that away, please? Like, he did, like, they know me. I am the things that I love, I don't apologize for, and I'm kind of ridiculous about the things that I love. So I'm like,
but that is not a knife that cuts both ways.
No, I'm a hypocrite. Yeah. Happily so. My husband doesn't ask for a lot from me, and I'm not like, he knows what he's getting. I'm not a flashy girl. I don't require diamonds. I'm not a jewelry girl. He's not big on PDA, and I have I fully acclimated to his lack of wanting to hold hands and be acknowledged in public places. Yeah. So this is the thing you get to put up with on my end. This girl likes comic books. Yeah. This girl is like a total nerd, and she openly lusts after the people that she lusts after. And you already know it benefits you, because if it turns me on, you're getting laid later, so it's fine.
That's right.
No worries.
You might have got that appetite somewhere else. You're going home to eat.
Okay. Okay, I'm not. Wait, we need to write that down. That's good. You're going home. You're going home to eat. I'm putting that on a T-shirt or something very specific. That makes my entire day. Now, mind you, at some point we're going to have this conversation that's going to go out into like the world, and then I have to deal with the new thing that I have to deal with, which is somebody that knows my kids are going to listen to this and be like, "Do you know your mom doesn't have a hall pass, but she's apparently really jealous."
But again, it's a good conversation, you know, depending on the age of the children to have, and it's something that, you know, again, this is all hypothetical. Yeah. You know, I might have a list, but realistically, if it came down to it, I don't think I could do it. Like, no. I know I couldn't do it.
I mean, I would say 99.9%.
I just want to know, you know, like I want the opportunity. I want like Tim McGraw to be standing there, you know, "Natalie, I have to have you."
But I'm going
to take your clothes off.
You want the opportunity to say like, "I'm turning you down."
Yeah.
So you can go to your deathbed and go, "There's a time I turned down Tim McGraw."
But you know what, Tim McGraw? Thank you. At another time, in another life, I would gladly hop on that horse. But I'm very dedicated and madly in love with the current horse I am riding.
I feel like I'm going
to ride him into the sunset.
You're so cute. I think you're just saying that so that there's like audio proof that you chose your partner above all.
He doesn't even listen. I stopped reminding him we do a podcast because I realize half the things I say, I'm like, oh gosh.
I told you this always happens where my husband doesn't listen. He's never listened even when we do radio. He did not listen. But people that know him listen, and then they come out and they're like, "So your wife was talking about X, Y, and Z." I'm like, seriously, y'all? Don't we have an understanding? Haven't I told you? Don't tell him that we talk about these things.
Yes, our friends and listeners, you are our friends. Do not talk to our men about this.
Yeah, this is not their business.
This is between us and you guys.
Right.
You know, it's like our moment.
What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
They don't need to know.
Or create an argument in my house. Or a moment of him trying to chastise me for talking about his business in our house. So,
well, I can't wait to hear. I'm really curious to hear back from people on this topic and really where they are at on it.
Well, I think in conclusion, we should ask the question again. Mm-hmm. Do you have a hall pass?
I do. I have a hypothetical hall pass.
You do. I will never have one. Not real, not hypothetical, not even in the back recesses of my mind. Because I'm far too jealous to ever let it occur. If he can't have one, I will happily surrender the ability to have one. And that's how it will be.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so we want to hear from you. Make sure you go to the Facebook page, go to Matriarch Digital Media and like the page so you can hear what's going on with us, so you can keep up with other Matriarch shows. Hit the send message tab and send us a message. Let us know if you have a hall pass, who's on your hall pass, and all the other good stuff that goes with it. And you can listen to past episodes of our show by going to the website. Go to matriarchdm.com. We have an audio player. We have past episodes. And you can even subscribe to the podcast there, and that would be a lovely thing to do. As always, we do this because of you and because of your support, and we really appreciate it, and we love doing it. So thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon.